What's happening, man? And it's really hard to make a noise like that. Uh, how's everybody doing, man? Hey, that's crazy. How's everybody doing today, man? Mm. When I had you to myself, didn't want you around. Someone plucked you from the flock. One was all it took. Now it's me, baby, me to take a second. Oh, baby, need one more chance. Show you that I love you. Won't you be want me back in your arms? Oh, baby, I was blind to let you go. Let you go, baby. Now that I see you in his arms. Mm, what's happening, man? What's cracking? Salute to Gouch Merlot becoming a member for 5 months. Gouch Merlot in the building, man. Uh, Everybody smash that like button, man. We need your likes, man. We need your like. Even if you don't like it, even if you don't like it, man, hit the like button, man. It'll grow on you, man. It will grow on you, man. Even if you don't like it, it'll grow on you. Oh man, let's go ahead and get started, man. Why not, man? Why not? You know what they say? F the bull, fuck the bullshit, man. Oh, baby, I was blind to let you go. Let you go, baby. Won't you be here back in my. Oh, I was blind to let you go. Uh, 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 let me laugh again. Woo! Show you that I love you. Way to be right here. We is something else, man. Convincing, man. Niggas is convincing, man. Oh, we about to. Let's see. All right. Yeah, that. Uh, yeah, let's get this out of here. Salute to everybody who watching on Rumble, man. We about to get started early, man. Shout out to everybody watching on Rumble, man. Yeah, man. R.I.P. Dikembe Mutombo. Who else died? Somebody else famous died. I know Pete Rose. R.I.P. Pete Rose. Pete Rose is, definitely a legend, man. Dikembe, definitely a legend. Somebody else died recently. Another celebrity. Chris Christopherson died. Oh wow, I didn't know that. No, I did know that. Yeah, no, I did know that. Let me change that. I did know that. I did know he died. Chris Christopherson. Yeah, he did die. The brothers be dying young. The white boys be dying old, man. No matter how hard they live their lives, man.
Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Gettysburg College says they're investigating after a now former student athlete.
I had a girl at Gettysburg College. I used to go up to Gettysburg, drive up 270 to Gettysburg all the time, man. I had a girl at Gettysburg College, man. We should drive up to 270. My girl. Yeah, Gettysburg.
Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Gettysburg College says they're investigating after a now former student athlete who is white used a box cutter to carve the N word into a black student's athlete's skin. Now, the victim's family wants to remain anonymous. They say it happened while members of the swim team were hanging out. The victim was reportedly the only person of color there, and the white student played the victim, claiming he was his best friend. In a statement, Gettysburg College says the student who committed the assault is no longer enrolled. The victim's family is calling this a hate crime. Joining us to talk about it, investigator Arthur Suki Slim Reed, who works with famed attorney Ben Crump. Glad to have you here. When you hear a story like this in 2024, and we still have to deal with it in 2024, your thoughts? Are you surprised?
Well, we see it every day.
Yeah, you see it every day, man. You see white kids carving the N word in the black kids' arms every day, man. You see it every day. I even saw it today, man. Press one if you saw a white kid carve the N word into a black kid's arm today. I I saw one. Yeah, man. It happens all the time, man.
Arthur Silky Slim Reed, who works with famed attorney Ben Crumb. Glad to have you here. When you hear a story like this in 2024, and we still have to deal with it in 2024, your thoughts? Are you surprised?
Well, we see it every day. I mean, we go out every day to fight for people that fall into these situations or find themselves into these situations. We're actually dealing with another case. All white individuals with one person of color went swimming, and this was inside of the Marine Corps in Texas. So we deal with these type of cases every day. No, I'm not surprised. What I am surprised about is that the school is saying that an investigation is being handled within the school, but we don't hear anything about law enforcement. Why haven't the FBI been involved in this case?
Wait a second, man. I thought y'all was marginalized, man. The FBI got to get involved with this. Some kids on the swim team doing some stupid, goofy stuff, man, and the kid been expelled from school. But you want the FBI involved? You want the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, to get involved in this little minor, non-consequential thing. You, sir, you're the one with privilege. Your people are the ones with privilege. Press one.
Case, why haven't local authorities been involved? This is a hate crime if it happens the way that we're seeing it across social media. This is definitely a hate crime. So I'm not surprised about it, especially in this climate that we're seeing right now. But I'm surprised that I don't hear any.
This climate that we're seeing right now. You know, this climate, man. Y'all aware of this climate that we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? We're in a climate right now where, this is just, it's just what happens, man. Um, I had to stop a white guy from trying to carve the N word in my arm today, man. I was like, no, sir, not today, man. But he tried me, man. I was like, nah, Jack. I'm tired of this, man. I got N-word tracks up my arm, man. I'm tired of this crap, man. You won't get me today, man. No, sir.
The last hour, we've gotten more information on the student accused of stabbing another student on ASU's West Campus yesterday. ASU PD has confirmed that they took Casey Sloan into custody. She's being charged with attempted first-degree murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Sloan is also being held on a $250,000 bond. Just the last hour, we've gotten more information.
That's Sloan, man, and this is the girl that got stabbed, man. This is the stabber. She went to Arizona State University. Damn. How'd you get in Arizona State University? They should make all these people go to HBCUs, man. Shout out to Andy Armour, man. This is R.I.P. Pete Charlie Hustle Rose. Yeah, Pete, man. We gonna talk about Pete later on, man. Should have sent her ass to Prairie View or Florida A&M, man. Send her ass to FAMU, man, with this crap, man. Stab his little precious angel, man. She was gonna make an NBA player a nice wife one day, man. When she heal up, though, she still can heal up, man. Don't worry, baby. When you heal up, man, we're gonna hook you up with an NFL player, man. You come to the draft and sit next to him during the draft while you're waiting to get picked by a team, man. Oh, baby. This was a troubling stat, man. I was troubled by this, man. I found this troubling, man. This was troubling, man. Black women more likely to commit murder than white men. God damn. Jeez. White males commit 3.5 murders per 100,000. Black females commit 5.8 murders per 100,000. We the best. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Yo, we commit more than everybody combined. What's going on? 12 plus 3.5. That'll be 50. That'll be 15 and a half plus 0.7. Let's just make that 16. 2 point, that'd be 18. And let's just say 18 and a half. 5. Let's be 23, 20. Let's just say 24. Everybody else commit 24 murders, man. Per 100,000. We commit 64, man. Yeah, damn, man. Shit. Hit the like button, man. Take the $5 pledge, man. Take the Pledge of Allegiance, man. Yikes. That's that scary, man. That's some scary stuff, man. Wow. White people, y'all are, when it comes to other stuff, man, y'all are, look, man, white people lead the nation in, well, we neck and neck in robbery, man. When it comes to aggravated assault, y'all got that. Burglary, y'all got that too, man. Larceny theft, y'all got that too, man. Motor vehicle theft, wow. Y'all steal more cars than us. Wow. Arson, simple assault. Forgery, counterfeit, fraud, embezzlement, stolen property, vandalism, weapons carrying and possessing, prostitution, sex offenses is not available. Sex offenses is not available, man. Salute to Couch Merlot. He said, "Is the chat and YouTube turned off?" I don't know, man. Is it? The chat and YouTube's turned off? Let me look at that, man. I didn't know that. Nah, nah, it ain't turned off, man. Mm. Said those numbers are false. Let's see.
Anything about law enforcement being involved.
And when you think of the egregious nature of this crime, where one of the fellow students carved into this black guy's chest the N word
Um,
with a box cutter.
yeah, I have been looking at the case, Isaiah, to try to see what was he doing while this was taking place.
Mhm.
Was he being held down?
Right.
You know, all of those questions have come to mind, and they just don't have enough information out there right now for us to even come to a conclusion how this really happened. So
In a
there's so
case
many
like this, though,
stories.
is it important that the family comes forward and tell their side of the story so people can have these questions answered?
When I didn't see the family come forward, and then I started looking into it, I was like, wait, is this clickbait? What is this? Because normally we would want ourselves out there to show that this is still the same ugly America that we have been dealing with.
Damn. Yo, wow. These people are bad people, man. These are bad guys, man. Shout out to Oakview, man. He said, Ock Nation Supreme. Salute to you, man. This guy right here, man. Listen to what this guy says right here, man. This is a bad person, man.
Looking into it, I was like, wait, is this clickbait? What is this? Because normally we would want ourselves out there to show that this is still the same ugly America that we have been dealing with. But by them being anonymous, I can't figure it out right now.
Mhm. And so, what would you do in a case like this if you and Ben Crump had this case?
Definitely, we would try to find out what he was doing, why this was taking place, why this took place, and who could be held accountable at the end of the day, including the college if it took place on campus. So we'll be pulling up all that information to try to put together a solid case that we could take forward to help this family get something out of this.
Now, the big question that we have here is, did the student leave on his own, or did the college make him leave? And that's important.
That's super important. And of course, if the wording is right according to what you had on the screen, they say an assault. Why haven't the authorities been called in on this assault? Because it's definitely assault. It's a hate crime if it's the N word. So why have
What do you think this dude's IQ is, man? Chat. Give me a what's your guess on this guy's IQ? Shout out to D from Boston, man. Beantown in the building. Mm. Yeah, man. I think it's about that ballpark. I think y'all got the right ballpark, man. Not a very smart fella, man, but he he got a degree, law degree and whatnot. So I mean, I guess he's doing something right.
haven't the authorities been involved, and why haven't this young man been arrested? Is what we will be looking into as well.
And when his parents, if his parents, they were looking for legal advice, what would you tell them to do at this point?
Well,
Call
I
me.
would tell them to pursue this to the full extent of the law to try to make sure that the books was on for the hate crime in Washington D.C., make sure that they give it to you. Make sure that they do everything that they say they're going to do. And that's the biggest problem, is that we don't see them doing enough when we see these type of cases.
Gettysburg is not in Washington, D.C., my man. Gettysburg College is in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It's like an hour and some change, maybe even 2 hours from, about 2 hours from DC, bro.
Is if you look at what's going on right now, Isaiah, with the Tyree Nichols case, where 5 black officers are on trial, and then you got 5 white officers in Louisiana that's walking. That's that two-sided America that we trying to deal with every single day.
All right. The Gettysburg College community continues to react following an incident in which a member of the school's men's swimming team allegedly carved a racial slur into a teammate's chest. It comes as the swim team issued a statement regarding the incident. Fox 43's Alyssa Kratz joins us live from near the Gettysburg campus, and she has the latest.
Evan, good.
Something like this will rock a college, man. The goddamn chancellor or the dean or the provost, the president, they might have to resign off of some shit like this. Black people got so much privilege, man. Like 10 people at the school that didn't even know this happened are going to lose their jobs behind this, man. And everybody got to act like it's the biggest thing that ever happened in the world, or they going to be in trouble for that. Whoever just be like, man, look, man, we already dealt with that shit, man. We moved on. Somebody, if a white person be like, oh, God, this again? I thought this happened 2 weeks ago. If you white, you gotta act like this the biggest thing that ever happened in the history of the world, Jack. Or your ass is in trouble. On the double, my G. You in trouble. Let me drop the link, man. Nigga is tired. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I ain't gonna lie. Nigga tired. Ain't gonna lie. Pimped out her SSI. Nigga, don't ask why. Just respect it. Let me see, man. Let me see. We got nah. Let's see. Okay, we live on one. We just what's cracking, man?
Yo, what's the word?
Ain't nothing, man. I mean, every day, man, white boys is running up on niggas carving the N-word in their arm, man. Were
Yeah,
you able
so
to escape that today, man?
yeah, I was able because I just stayed in the house, I was scared. But
Okay.
yeah. Hey, what's the is this shit? We still ain't legitimized this, right? Because this is insane.
Nah, man, this happening every day, man. And this school about to the president might have to. I've seen this. So I've done so many stories on this. The president might have to resign, and even if it's a hoax, like whether it turns out to be a hoax or not means nothing. That's the thing about these things. Like everyone's only think about in real world. There's not enough racism in the real world. All these kids on these campuses are activists. They're all little teeny activists. So when there's something racial happens, I mean, they it's like Christmas for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's basically what old boy had said. He was like, man, usually, man, basically like, man, usually, shit, this would be like fucking a lottery ticket. You know, we'd be wanting to show our face and we get in front of this, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like you're a bad person, man. Like, you're a
Man,
horrible
yeah.
person, bro.
Talking about this country is so ugly, and this nigga got like a 72 IQ, and he's a fucking big time lawyer.
Right, and probably got a fucking chauffeur driving them around. That's white.
Right, right.
The Gettysburg College community continues to react following an incident in which a member of the school's men's swimming team allegedly carved a racial slur into a teammate's chest. It comes as the swim team issued a statement regarding the incident. Fox 43's Alyssa Kratz joins us live from near the Gettysburg campus, and she has the latest.
Evan, good evening. Yeah, that statement coming late last night as this story continues to garner national media attention. Now, today, a spokesperson for the college told me that their investigation is closed as the student accused of doing the carving is no longer enrolled at Gettysburg, and they are working with the victim and his family on a productive path forward. But meanwhile, still a lot of questions here on campus about the incident. Gettysburg College has fallen under the national spotlight after a recent incident involving members of its men's swim team. A student is accused of using a box cutter to carve the N-word into another student's chest. It allegedly happened at an informal social gathering, which took place at an on-campus residence, according to the school's president. That student is no longer enrolled at Gettysburg, though it's unclear if the swimmer was expelled.
I've been here several times. I mean, several. I done boinked, done had relations on this campus several times, man. Several times. Met people when I was on this campus. This was in the 2000s, mid to early 2000s. There ain't a nigga in earshot of this fucking place that's scared of a white person. Okay?
Yeah,
Not one.
look, it looks lovely, man. But like most of our universities, other than the HBCUs, this shit looks lovely. It look pleasant.
Yeah, I think they Division II, but they got, it's a nice school. It's very, very Division II in athletics, but it's like a very good school overall.
Yeah, I know it'd be like a lot of like the like in the Midwest, a lot of the NAIA and Division II campuses are beautiful, dog.
Yeah, these people. This is Gettysburg, where the battle of Gettysburg was. Like you can see, like the battlefield is right there. Like this is like literally part of the battlefield, the college. Historical. I mean, historic place, man. Where the Civil War was one that got us our freedom, man.
I can't say that I'm surprised. Very unfortunate that
she can't say that she's surprised that
I
a
wish
white dude.
Oh,
this isn't surprising.
Oh my god, this shit is so fucking irritating. Oh, it hurts my soul.
Can't say I'm surprised about the necklace.
I can't be surprised about the fucking weight. How about that? Fuck.
No, not either.
She eating that fucking free fucking cafeteria fucking food, and
all those men died just over yonder so this fucking baboon could talk shit about the country on national television.
That about a bitch.
In Gettysburg, a lot of them died at that. That was one of the battles where like probably like what 10, 20,000 died that day.
Yeah, this was like the most, right? This was the one.
One of them.
I thought this was the one that was like.
I think the single amount of dead
this
Americans
was the one,
in one
right?
conflict or one battle.
Yeah, I think I read that in my history books. This was the deadliest battle of the Civil War.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I don't have the exact stats. I think if you can get the exact stats, somebody can get us the exact stats, man. But this was a bloodbath. Okay. It was because of the what do they call it? Not the landscape. Because when the Union soldiers was marching, because back in them days they just used to shoot at each other. They used to just stand there and shoot.
It was like straight lines, and then the next line go down, and then they still had drummers and shit in the back.
Exactly.
Cadence.
It was a bloodbath, Jack. I seen a lot of documentaries on it too.
About
This
3,100
is like
Union
what
soldiers, 4,000 Confederate soldiers died. So about 7,000.
Just so Precious can come here and say she's not surprised.
Was the
It's
victim a
what she-
son? Was the victim a son? That's what
Yeah.
surprises me. They were on the swim
Yeah.
team?
Oh,
Right.
that is surprising. You're right. I
I
didn't
bet
even
he
think
was a
about that.
mulatto. He's a mulatto. He's a
Yeah,
Malungeon.
it probably was a Melungeon.
Yeah, that shit was
Yeah.
probably like Austin Rivers or some shit. Like that motherfucker,
Yeah.
he barely had no, but you know, what is it? The one drop rule that the black people are endorsing so highly now because of Kamala.
Yeah, her and
I mean,
Halle
Barack.
Berry, they the same reason.
I mean, we had Barack. He was the first nigga president with a white mom.
A black woman has never put anybody in the White House. You notice that? Kamala's mom is Indian. Barack's mom is white. There's never been a black woman that put anybody in the
And
White
and
House.
and Kamala's dad is a glider, right?
He
No,
Hindu and he Hindu and Indian, but his family freaking or like a wealthy family in Jamaica that had like a whole like plantations and had slaves and shit. So he was like what third, like second. He was second generation Jamaican.
Her great grandfather, great grandfather, or some shit was some Irish slave master on
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, that's what it
Jamaica.
was. Yeah, and they left their home country to go to fucking Jamaica because there was a lot of land. They bought it up, and then they were like basically just slave owners or indentured servant owners or whatever it is, and they got wealthy and shit. So that's what that is. He's not black at all though.
So she's not even I thought she was at least a little black.
Nah,
She's not even. She's
he
Yeah, when I
zero
look
Hindu.
at him
percent
though,
black.
he looked like he got a smidget though. He looked like he got a smidget
Yeah,
in him.
I think he just got a lot of sun because he was in Jamaica, bro. Because they used like only like 2 photos of him. I saw like other photos of him where he looked like he got like more Asian than fucking black. Like he looked more like the motherfucker that make your food at like Benihana
Yeah.
than a motherfucker that make your food at goddamn JJ Fish.
Wow, we gonna have to look into that because Candace Owens is doing excellent work, man, right now on that topic.
like gave the school attention in a way, because I feel like there are really good things that do happen in the school.
Students with the college's Black Student Union and African Student Association tell Fox 43 they're disappointed in what they say is a lack of transparency from the school in handling the situation.
My friend sent me a TikTok like, this your school, right? I was like, damn, this is my school.
Especially me being the Black Student Union president, not once was I reached out to anybody from the school to let us know like what is going on. We understand that they can't give us all the details, but at least letting us know something that they are conducting this investigation. They are taking this.
Yo, this a fucking investigation, man. They don't have to fucking tell the Black
check
Student
this out.
Union.
Check this out. Police get a bloody chest with the N with the some word on the chest. You know, they decide that the victim don't want to press charges. The kid gets kicked out of school that did it. Police chief and president of the fucking university says, hey, let's contact the president of the Black Student Union so we can keep them updated on this.
Hey, you know what? Too, it's hoods around here because you know it's Pennsylvania. It's not hoods like hoods, but it's you know sons in the periphery of this place.
Wait, this
So
is
how
in
long?
Pennsylvania?
Yeah, shit goes
How
down
long?
here.
I thought
How long do we find out
Gettysburg
he
was
did it himself?
Virginia.
Yo, I'll tell you about some woke ass shit that's basically this that the city of Chicago's doing. It's fucking hilarious. So ever since Lori Lightfoot, so whenever there's a shooting in in like a district or a ward breakdown, you know, ward, we got aldermen and all that other shit, right? So whenever there's a shooting, we have to Not us, but the people that do the camera room and shit like that, they got to contact each alderman, and they also have to contact each violence interrupter that's cover that shit. And the violence, no bullshit. And the violence interrupters literally just answer the phone and just be like, "Oh, okay, all right, oh well, thank you, man," and then hang up.
Crazy.
It's the most dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, man. Look at this picturesque place, man. You niggas need to just be happy over here, man. Listen, this right here, very safe place. I'm talking about like very, very safe. Very, very safe.
If y'all wanna, if these niggas wanna be, if these niggas wanna be so black, just go to HBCU, dog.
No. What we can do is they can go get their education in the motherland, you know, and then their campus would be like nothing but like mud
Dirt.
huts and shit. And then, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have like indoor plumbing. Like, you look at that campus, they got fucking buildings that was made in like 1840 that's like 4 stories that's still standing up and shit. And like motherfuckers couldn't even figure out how to make a 2-story or a basement over there. That shit is crazy, bro. Look
Do
at
they have
that.
a suspect on this? Do they have a suspect? Or,
Yeah, he's been somehow I don't know, but he's no longer in the school.
Is it a white kid?
Situation seriously.
They say they don't feel less safe because of the incident.
We feel that this situation is not reflective of the culture here at Gettysburg, but it still does show things that do happen at this school.
I don't want the narrative to be like, Black people in Gettysburg feel unsafe.
The Gettysburg men's swim team released its own statement late Wednesday night, saying in part, quote, "We acknowledge the past few weeks have been extraordinarily difficult for many people within our campus community and beyond." The statement continues, quote, "The national spotlight has unfortunately led some to believe that our team or the culture within our team is complicit in the racist incident that took place. This couldn't be further from the truth." And
yeah, but there's nothing you can do, man. Like, all this does is make them WNBA bras be like, see, look, we told you this type of stuff be happening. That's all niggas do when they see this. They love these things so they can, use it to
bro.
Yeah, this the when all you gonna hear now is niggas online like, man, ain't nothing changed, dog. We still gotta deal with racism on the college campus, and then they just gonna reference shit like this when it has no evidence that it actually happened.
Walk
I'm
around
surprised
like
they
I
haven't.
got an N on my chest.
I'm surprised they haven't released a picture of the assailant.
I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't really went into this shit because the fucking victim, so-called victim, asked for him to do this shit for like a tattoo or some shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is college, bro. You know how stupid fucking college kids are. Like,
yeah.
we get the drinking, and next thing you know, like, when I was in like college in Alabama, bro, the football team used to do the craziest shit when they were drunk. So like, I wouldn't be surprised, bro.
Yeah,
Well,
not at all.
We'll have to check the spelling to see if it's spelled with a hard R or an A, and then we'll know what the intent was.
Quote, "This incident was not tied to the swim team. It was not a team-sanctioned event. It was not hazing. It was not endorsed by our team. This incident does not reflect our values or who we are."
We want to steer away from this actual incident just because we don't have all of the information on it, and more so focus on how we can improve as a community and be more accepting of everybody and how we can empower the Black students that we do have on campus.
That tells you right there.
Now the college's president has addressed the.
That tells you right there it's something that's not what it's going to be portrayed as. If it were an actual racial attack where this guy jumped on him and carved his chest up, they'd be all over it. There wouldn't be this bury this story situation. They'd be all over it.
If that kid doesn't like get rich off of like the victimhood immediately after college, he got hope. He's going to be like a conservative in like 5 years. He got hope.
Yeah.
A racial slur allegedly carved into the chest of a student at Gettysburg College, and now we're learning why the case is going nowhere. The person accused of doing this has reportedly left the school, but no charges have been filed. CBS 21's Maxine Rose joins us near Gettysburg College campus with the latest.
Gettysburg police told us that the victim has decided not to contact local police and instead is letting the college's campus safety department handle this whole situation.
The victim don't want to go.
Yeah, he asked for it, bro. He asked for it. Yeah, he asked for it. That's all that means, that he asked for it. And then the picture went viral and he was embarrassed, and all, or the video or the recording, whatever, went viral. He was embarrassed, and now it's just like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna just like chalk this one up as a loss.
Yeah.
At least he didn't do it backward in a mirror, you know?
Yeah, facts.
It's a shocking new piece of information for some here at Gettysburg College.
If it's true that I was like with a box cutter, and like if that's like a hate crime and it's also just like a violent.
These two white guys know damn well there ain't a black dude in fucking world they could do that shit to without a fucking fight. Like that. Could you imagine how bloody that scene would be if one of these dudes tried to jump on some black dude?
Right. That motherfuckers couldn't do that shit to a kid, a black kid that was 5'2", less than 100 pounds, without fucking making it a bloody mess. But you know what's dangerous is like the way that these motherfuckers, like how like the media and shit has confused, you know, bad things happening to certain people is automatically like a hate crime, and the Fed should get involved. They kind of like comfortable with that. That's like the expectation now.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucked up, because just because something happened to somebody of a certain race doesn't mean it's a fucking hate crime.
Right. And it's none of your business half the time, just like it is in the hood. Like the hood, when somebody get fucking fucked over or shot or killed, these niggas don't give a fuck. So it's the same principle, man, at the end of the day.
Crime in general. I care about racial justice, and it's hard for me to put myself into someone else's shoes when I don't. I don't have their same identity.
I be wanting to rob these motherfuckers, bro.
After hearing
Don't care about racial justice.
Yo,
you got to give this kid a break, though. Like, think about it like this kid. If you're this kid and you're like walking down the street to class and this fucking bitch comes up and stops you and asks you,
yo, no, bro. Like, just don't say nothing. Like, no comment. Just no comment, or just act like you busy, like a fucking homeless guy asking for money. You just act like you rushing in the store, bro. But like when they be saying, oh yeah, I guess. But I'm just saying, yo, is it just me though, or is this like who else? Philly on here, right? When y'all hear like, when you hear like gliders like sound like this, especially the ones that look like him. Don't you just be like, damn, bro, if I was like in that shit, I will rob these.
Oh yeah, this nigga would be prime,
bro.
Prime victim.
Bro, I see a steak, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah, gliders like this. You could set him up so many different ways because he got that glider innocence, trying to be a good glider shit too.
This kid right here, I would say he's a good kid. I bet he's a good kid. I bet he volunteered during high school, because this is not a school that you just get into. It's not like fucking Harvard, but you gotta do some shit to get in here, man. They have a very low population. I think they got like 5,000 maybe, and they turn away a lot of people. So it's like, this kid's probably a great kid.
Is this private? Is a private institution?
Grades. Yeah, I think it is private, but definitely great grades. Great.
Unless you're black,
you gotta have like community service and all that other shit.
Yeah,
or just be black.
Yeah, this is a great kid, but even the black kids that go there, they're like exceptional for black kids and shit.
Yeah, Fantasia not Fantasia, but Precious wasn't very impressive. But the Black Student Union president, the way he spoke, that's elite for us. That was elite. Like,
you trying to tell me that wildebeest was an elite? Come on,
no.
Oh no,
I'm
talking about not you.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about
Nah, she was cool. I wouldn't throw her out of bed.
What
No, I'm
the?
joking.
All
I'm
right.
joking. But I'm joking. But yeah, I think that girl could make good grades. Like, here's the thing: good grades, good grades doesn't necessarily translate to having like being a good conversationist, having good sense. A lot of girls in Blakistan, like let's just say she went to Booker T. Washington High or whatever the fuck, or Medgar Evers High, and she did all of her work, and she wasn't popular, and she didn't get in all that bullshit. And she had good parents. She could make fucking a 4.0 and then get fucking fly to Gettysburg and get in. And they need niggas there. It's not that simple. It's not that hard.
My identity.
Gettysburg College students are left scratching their heads after hearing a student allegedly used a box cutter to carve the N-word into the chest of another, and no charges are being filed. The family last Friday telling the student-run newspaper, The Gettysburgian, that their son was a victim of a hate crime and that they were understanding of their right to press federal charges. Exactly 1 week later, and things have seemingly changed.
I think there's two sides to it. I think part of it is maybe you have someone who doesn't want to necessarily take it that far.
In a statement sent to CBS 21, Gettysburg police writing, quote, "We did reach out to the college campus safety department once we were alerted by the article in the Gettysburgian campus newspaper. Campus safety advised that the victim was encouraged by the college to contact law enforcement. The victim had chosen not to, and to let the college disciplinary process handle this matter."
I've been here for like 5 weeks and I've loved it. Like everyone I've met here has been like super friendly, super positive. Like it sucks that that's like the narrative that Gettysburg's gonna have.
I'm betting it was
I
not a
think
white dude.
something
did
like
this.
that happening in this college is really just disgusting because, I mean, if you look around this town, there's monuments to a war that really is dedicated to, this sort of thing.
Gettysburg police say they don't know the identity of the victim or any other person involved in the situation. They say if or when a complaint is filed, they will begin investigating. In Gettysburg, Maxine Rose, CBS 21 News.
You look like a Bella Danger. If you know, you know.
Nah, you
I
gotta.
can't believe that something like this would happen.
Tonight, questions around what happened at Gettysburg College. Officials now investigating what may have been a racially motivated incident. Good evening. I'm Valerie Pritchett.
I'm Alicia Richards. So glad you're with us. Gettysburg College tells us the student who allegedly scratched a racial slur into another student is no longer enrolled at the college. Ireland Viscount is here with our update tonight. Ireland.
Valerie, Alicia, what happened at Gettysburg College has sent shockwaves to the community, especially the students who came up to us wanting to share how they are feeling following this incident.
I'm beyond angry. I am mortified. I am furious, horrified, confused, and most of all, disappointed at what's happened. It was just.
Look what college has done for him.
Hey, all right, pull up the fucking swim roster for last year and this year, boy. We're gonna see who not on the roster no more. That's how we gonna figure out who did it, man. All you gotta do is look at, ain't no freshman just carving the N-word in chess, you know what I'm saying? It's gotta be an upperclassman that did that.
When you type is that, the only thing that's probably gonna come up is some fucking shit about this when you type in Gettysburg.
Nah, you just gotta go to the actual website for the university.
Oh yeah,
and look at the roster, and then
all right, here we go, swimming roster. Oh god, let me pull it up. Let me see if they got pictures.
I wouldn't be surprised if this dude that's talking right here is the dude that got the N-word. He asked for the N-word on his chest and shit. He infiltrating himself into the fucking investigation. It's him, G. Look.
He's a psychopath, huh? Oh man. Well, let's see. 20. Let's see. Wow. 2020. Yeah. We it said press go. I press go. What the hell's going on? It won't let you see. It won't let you.
They shut down a roster because there's probably only one fucking Sun man on the roster.
Probably so. Poor guys, man. These young people, they think they're going through so much, man. They
He
ain't
just wanted
seen
to
shit
fit in.
yet. Yeah, they ain't seen nothing yet, man. Um,
Sad, man. A son man has to have somebody carve something so terrible into his chest just so he can fit in with the swim team.
right, right. Insane, man.
You really got to try twice as hard and be twice as good, you know?
Right, exactly.
New audio we obtained reveals the information that dispatchers gave Chesterfield police before they responded to a call that would end with the deadly shooting of Charles Byers. Byers was a man in mental distress who was under an active court order to be held in a psychiatric facility at the time of his death. It started with a 911 call on July 8th, 2023. A neighbor on Wycliffe Court reported that a man, later identified as Byers, tried entering her home, tore off a window screen, and when confronted by the homeowner, Byers told her he thought it was his family's house and he asked for water. A second neighbor then reported that Byers tried to open his door, knocked on it, and appeared to be, quote, messed up on something. A dispatch operator then relayed this to officers.
Would be any attempt, Wycliffe Court in 12. The caller is advising that a male subject, bald white male, last seen wearing black t-shirt, black shorts, and barefoot, came up and took off her back screen. He's now currently walking through the neighborhood.
The dispatcher added that Byers was then seen standing in a third person's garage. And the officer who would later shoot and kill Byers asked the dispatcher whether Byers committed any crimes.
Any crime committed so far? Make entry to anything?
Okay, for it looks like he vandalized one residence. Other than that, I'm not seeing anything.
Man, vandalism isn't worth your life, man. You can't. You don't get to kill somebody because they vandalized something, man.
Yeah, that cop, he woke up that day and was like, man, I'm about to play judge, jury, and executioner on a fucking glider.
I'm gonna
because,
kill a
you know,
cracker today.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, what day was it? Was it a Tuesday? Because Tuesdays are usually the days when, you know, you wake up and be like, yep, today's the day.
Wow, man. White boy got his shit split.
2 officers arrived on scene and found Byers standing in a yard, and by this point, he was holding a hatchet. Video shows Byers retreating from officers as they give at least 15 orders for him to drop the hatchet. He does not comply. After about 45 seconds, the male officer shoots Byers 5 times as he backs away and then shoots.
God damn.
That's fucked up, man.
That's crazy.
Hey, man.
That's
white lives matter, dog.
What made him do that, though? Like,
nah, you gonna have to watch the whole video because they got it edited and shit like that.
Yeah.
You remember how the news edited the fuck out of that Adam Toledo shit, the homicide?
Yeah.
And they made it saying like the
But
gun
this a
was
white
at his
boy,
head.
though. But this a white boy. They wouldn't have to edit it. They wouldn't have to, like, do that.
Hey, man, it's an election year, bro. We reaching.
Every time they catch white people, they taking to Burger King so they can get a chocolate shake and fries before they don't shoot them. They just take them to Burger King.
Dikembe Mutombo is yeah, man. RP Dikembe Mutombo. But yeah, this right here. This is like, is there anybody? I'm trying to see, is there anybody that he could attack with the hatchet? Because if that's the case,
yeah, then you could justify. Yeah, if he was like, if he had the hatchet and he was like running into Burger King with a full load of customers, then yeah, you can do it. But like,
he's wearing all black clothes, so it's possible the cop couldn't help himself.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Center mass is all black.
He probably thought he was black.
Yeah, he probably did.
This white guy right here,
close
man.
Enough. Close
I mean,
enough.
think about when he's walking away, man. He and he just feels 5 shots in the back. He probably was shocked, man.
Shoots 2 more times toward Byers' back as he runs away. Byers' family is suing for excessive force, alleging the officer failed to de-escalate, did not give a warning that he would use deadly force, and essentially did not need to kill him. Chesterfield County and the officer are seeking dismissal of the lawsuit, arguing the officer's actions were reasonable because Byers pose an immediate threat to their safety and the safety of neighbors. They say the officers did attempt to de-escalate through their uniformed police presence, verbal commands, display of guns, and use of a taser. They argue the severity of the crimes in question was high, and based on the dispatch information, a reasonable officer would believe that a potentially dangerous crime was in process. But the family's attorney filed a response calling that characterization dishonest. He points to the dispatcher, saying that the only crime that Byers committed was a vandalism. Now, a federal judge will make the decision as to whether the allegations against Chesterfield are sufficient. The family has also sued HCA's Chippenham Hospital and the city of Richmond, alleging that they improperly removed Byers from a mental health facility while he was under a court order to be there. A judge allowed some of those claims to proceed and dismissed others. At the federal courthouse, I'm Tyler Lane, CBS 6 News.
Yeah, I'm
New
pretty sure
footage out today, but
if you get the whole body worn camera, that one, that shit gonna be a lot more than what he just explained. Because they definitely they tased him, and I bet you he came towards them after they tased him or some shit.
Yeah.
And the shots just kept continuing when he turned around and shit.
Yeah, he definitely racially profiled him. He thought he was black. He probably was like, all right, so he committed a heinous act of violence over some dumb shit. He's resisting arrest. I mean, he looks white, but I mean, goddamn, he gotta be black. That's some black shit. So he's let's just pop the cap in his ass.
Wow. Let's see what else is going on, man.
I think I heard Latoya the Destroyer is getting brought up on charges too.
Wow,
I
and
think I
that
saw something.
shocking. That's so shocking. We gotta look at that later.
Yo, every single one, bro.
Yeah, with power. We don't do well with power, man. We don't do well. It's sad, man. It's sad too, man. But we don't do well with power. We get power, we become tyrannical.
Hi, everybody. Welcome in tonight. And off the top of 10, a 12-year-old boy shot outside of McDonald's in Northwest. And at this hour, the search is on for the gunman.
Fox 5's Shamari Stone speaking to those who heard the gunshots and witnessed the aftermath.
Tonight, police want your help identifying the suspect shown in surveillance video. Meanwhile, a McDonald's employee who was working right here inside of the restaurant told me that she heard at least 2 shots fired outside. She and another employee ducked for cover inside the restaurant. Now, tonight, police tell me that the shooting happened right over here. Let me bring you right over here to the side entrance. And by the way, after the shots rang out, there were kids running all around this area. You see right over there by that front entrance. Well, we're across the street from Walmart on the 5900 block of Georgia Avenue Northwest. And I also want to show you that we are located across the street from the department's 4D police station. Police want your help identifying the teenage suspect shown on this surveillance image, wearing dark pants, possibly green-colored underwear, and a black hooded jacket. Investigators telling us he shot the 12-year-old boy outside the McDonald's and took off running around 4:30 this evening. The department's real-time crime center capturing the image. Crime scene investigators removed evidence from the scene, talked to witnesses, and will continue to review surveillance video. You're now going to hear from that McDonald's employee who was working the drive-through window when the suspect shot the 12-year-old.
I was in the window working, and all of a sudden I heard 2 shots, and from there they started screaming, kids crying and everything. Me and my friend stayed covered behind a trash can, and from there we started running.
This shooting happened directly across the street from the 4D station. Your reaction to that?
Sometimes people commit crimes in places that you would least expect it.
And tonight, police are investigating
At
to
a
see if this
McDonald's?
12-year-old was the intended target or an innocent bystander. If you have any information about the shooting, call DC Police. You can also call the department anonymously. I'm Shamari Stone. Back to you.
No one would ever suspect.
Philadelphia
a shooting
police
at
say the
McDonald's.
woman's death is suspicious. They believe she is either in her 30s or 40s, but there are many things that remain unknown to investigators tonight, including her identity.
She was partially clothed, so that adds to the unanswered questions, which will include how did she get there, in addition to what the reason of her death is.
Those who live along the 2200 block of Sigel Street say police cars filled their typically quiet corner of South Philly around sunset Sunday night. Police tell NBC 10 they responded here after one of the neighbors called 911, saying when they went outside to grab a garbage can, they found a woman unresponsive and lying face down on their patio.
It appears, based on preliminary observations, that she's been deceased possibly for about 24 hours or so.
Police say they believe the woman lives nearby, possibly on the same block where she was found partially clothed.
At this time, we're trying to figure out the connection between where she lives and where she was found, and try to identify why she was found where she was.
Residents we spoke with tonight tell us many of their neighbors have lived on this block for decades, and they aren't used to this type of police activity. Police told us they would transport the woman's body to the medical examiner's office tonight and perform an autopsy so that they can figure out what happened to her. As we get updates on this investigation, we will pass them along to you on the free NBC 10 app. Outside police headquarters in Spring Garden, I'm Brian Sheehan, NBC 10 News.
A high school reunion in Oakland ended in a shooting last night. Police believe there were several shooters involved. KRON 4's Jack Molmud has the latest.
Community members here at DeFremery Park still reeling from this shooting that happened on Saturday evening at a high school reunion. But the community members here at this park tell me they want people watching to know that this park is a good place for people to go to, and they are proud of its history. DeFremery Park is loved by many in West Oakland.
I think the park is a great place, is an attractive place. It attracts people from all over the world. There's a lot of history on this park. This is like where the Black Panther started. This is where a lot of, they come and do performances, free festivals and stuff like that.
Adunye Lee and his group of friends play basketball at DeFremery Park at least twice a week.
Oh yeah, you should definitely come here and have a function at this park.
That's a whole topic in Adunye.
Where the Haitians at, man? Don't let the Haitians find out about this place. Salute to let me see what we got here. We got salute to Eric S, man, Ock Nation Hall of Famer. He said, Ock, did you see the glider queen was stabbed by the son, Arizona State? Yeah, we just covered that earlier. Yeah. Casey, man. Casey went and stabbed Amara or some shit like that. Salute to Brenda, man. She says, how you been, man? I've been all right, man. Make sure y'all take the $5 challenge to support the channel, man. I had to go to Rochester for a couple of days, man. Everything's all right, man.
The week.
Yeah, he beat me in basketball. Him right there. He's the only person that ever did that. Nah.
They keep up the good vibes here, but they also know what happened Saturday. Bullets rang out into the annual McClymonds High School alumni picnic.
The young man just 2 days shy of his 39th birthday.
A McClymonds alumni shot dead. The details are limited, but McClymonds principal Dariel Davis wants to assure her school community of the positive.
I am here to assure families that our school is safe. I have been on the phone all morning ensuring that we have additional adults on staff.
While Oakland police make sure they follow every lead, knowing while homicides are down compared to this time last year in Oakland, there's still much work to do.
As stated, we are very early on into this investigation right now. Any information you have could be vital in the identifying who are the perpetrators of this crime.
I wouldn't say like best friends or anything, but yeah, I knew him.
This group of friends also full of McClymonds grads, remembering a pillar of the community, including Josh Brokaw.
He was always uplifting. Like, when you talk to him, he always had something positive.
They described DeFremery Park as a peaceful place, and the shooting still sending shockwaves.
I hope like when the message go out, it doesn't make it look like, okay, well, we can't go to Oakland or we can't go to the park because of the incident. And I hope that it doesn't cause a conflict with the reunion, because that's a very good reunion, and like it's like our whole family's there, and we've been doing that for like a long time.
Hoping this annual tradition in West Oakland can keep going for many years to come. In West Oakland, Jack Molmed, Cron 4 News.
Yeah.
I want to deep dive a little bit further into this migrant crisis, okay? All jokes aside. Greatest morning show on earth. Send this to your family and friends. They should be watching this too. I want to deep dive a little bit more into this migrant crisis, okay? And the reason that I want to deep dive a little bit more into the migrant crisis is because I think that maybe we're not looking at it from all sides. Maybe, perhaps, possibly, we're not looking at it holistically. And we're short-sighted, and we only looking at it just from one way. So yesterday we discovered that they were flying them over here, but I couldn't understand how they were getting them over here and how they could legally do it. And so I finally threw a little birdie that said something on this live stream. And then I was able to go down this rabbit hole and find the documentation that legally allowed for the Biden administration, which includes Kamala Harris, to be able to fly them over here. And I said, okay, now I understand it. And then I also took the perspective and I said, well, if you were them, would you do it any differently? The migrants, Venezuelans, Cubans, Haitians, whoever, right? Whoever is coming over here illegally. You know what I'm saying? Would you do it any differently? Absolutely would not. I would take advantage of the system too. So that only leads us to hold ourselves and our legislators accountable, because they took advantage of us voting them in, and we're acting willfully ignorant to who they are. We know what happened over the last 3.5 years, yet we sitting here fighting for an election, acting like we didn't have them in office in the last term. Fair enough. Well, with that being said, let's take a couple segments and dedicate it to the migrant crisis. And first, I want to start with the core, the heart of America. Not middle America, New York City. And I want to find out what are the major issues and where people stand in this upcoming election, especially with regard to immigration and the migrant crisis. Let's get into it.
Well, tonight we continue our series, Campaign Promises. Yesterday we touched on the economy, but tonight
she bad. That's just the facts. She's very well put together.
we are going to talk about where the candidates stand on immigration.
All right, Fox 5 Sharon Crowley here once again. She talked with voters to get the pulse of the people on these important issues. Sharon.
Well, as you guys know, we're in a city of immigrants, right? So, of course, it's easy to understand why New Yorkers have plenty of opinions about immigration. Voters sounding off to me about what's happening at the border and about asylum seekers living here now. Now, while these voters held pretty different opinions, they all agreed on one thing. They want the next president to do something to improve things when it comes to immigration.
Everybody deserves a shot.
It's never been like this. You know, you see, homeless people and migrants and people getting robbed and pushed and walk down the street, they're grabbing pocketbooks.
They have to come up with an immigration deal and reasonable ways for people to stay here legally. There's so many wonderful immigrants here who have contributed so much.
And they come here, they have nothing, and they're given a place to live. A phone, money. and money.
It's an issue.
Yeah, his wife was telling him what to say. She said, "Money."
Because I'm not from here. I'm from Barbados, so it means something to me.
Immigration is on the ballot this year. Voters in both parties want to know what candidates plan to do about it. Concerns heightened by a surge in border crossings and the busing of migrants to places like New York City.
And we have seen immigration rise as a concern nationally, mostly bubbling up from Republicans. And it really peaked after December when the migrant situation at the border hit record levels. But it's continued to be high. And so we continue to see Republicans particularly concerned about the issue. more so than even in 2016, when in that election Donald Trump made immigration an issue.
Lydia Saad is the director of U.S. social research at the Gallup poll.
I think they support immigration. They think immigration has been a good thing for the country. They don't support illegal immigration. They want to see people come into the country through legal means.
And I think that line is blurred. And that's where I have the problem, is because she's saying, and I understand what she's saying, legal migration into this country. The problem is that you have so many people that came into this country illegally that now they have an interest because they have an emotional tie to how they got here, and they're justifying other people being able to do it because they did it the same way. And so when you set a precedent that people can do things illegally and be successful or be celebrated from it, you create an environment where the people that come after them are validated, and they saying, well, they did it. Or the people that came over here and took over a town. Think about it for a second. Let's say hypothetically, that at some point in the near future, Springfield, Ohio, right? They are going to have children, and they're going to populate. And over a span of 10, 20, 30, and 40 years, right? Because it only takes really one generation to change the face of a city, or change the face of an election, or change the face of what happens in that city. I mean, we went from bankruptcy here in Detroit in 2008 to thriving at a surplus and building new buildings in 2024. It takes one generation to completely upend everything. So let's say, for example, you take these people and they come into your city and they're 1/3 of the population overnight. In Springfield, they went from 39,000 to 60,000+, and 22,000 of them are newly arrived Haitian migrants. Cool. And upended everything. It upended the school system, infrastructure, accidents is up, geese is being captured, all of that. And let's say over a period of whatever many years that they populate and they get legal status and all of this stuff. And at some point, either their offspring or the future generation, or at some point, even them themselves will be able to vote in our elections to determine who's going to be your mayor, police chief, maybe even influence what happens on the national election side, infrastructure, taxes, tax base, cars, and everything that they've learned is still with them, that comes with them from the culture that they came from, which then changes the dynamic of what you have going on in your city. And then what if one day they woke up and they said, you know what? We felt like we was done wrong back in 2024. We was persecuted. And we control the majority of what happens over here because we the majority of the population. And so now we're going to tell you what to do. And not only that, we believe that we need somebody that represents us, that looks like us in the city council, that can speak to our needs. You know what? We the majority of the population here. Why shouldn't we be the priority? I don't care how long y'all been here. We are the majority, and we need people that look like us because we play an identity politics role. And not only that, we gonna swing it our way. And if you say anything against us, you know what, 100 years from now, maybe even 50 years from now, 20 years from now, we didn't like the persecution that we got back in 2024. We're going to come back and we want to be reparated as a result of that.
Reparated.
Everybody hit the cash app, take the $5.
It's difficult for me to just take this at face value because everything that I do, and I've been trained to look at things from a 10, 15, 20-year view. So when I see things happen today, I'm not paying attention to what you think is affecting you now, but how it's going to change the face of what America does and what our culture is and how we move going forward in the face of this nation. Is that why we sitting here having a conversation about Kamala Harris getting elected to the president of the United States in the first place? Let's continue.
But once they get here, that's where you find more partisan split in terms of Republicans in favor of sending people back, Democrats and independents less so.
Now the border is 25 times worse than it was in
Maybe,
2016. Now the border is not even believable what's happening. And I want to be known as your border president. I'm going to be known as your border president.
Former President Donald Trump made illegal
You think if I said
immigration
the N-word
central
really
to
loud,
his
he'd wake up?
first run for office in 2016. If elected again, Trump promises to seal the border, start mass deportations of illegal immigrants, and demolish foreign drug cartels.
We must also reform our broken immigration system. And protect our dreamers.
You goddamn nigger.
And understand.
A dreamer.
We can do both. Create an earned pathway to citizenship and ensure our border is secure. We can do both, and we must do both.
Vice President Kamala Harris under President Biden was assigned to examine the root causes of the border crisis. She promises to reform the immigration system by going after drug cartels and human traffickers. She also supports deploying more detection technology to intercept fentanyl at the border.
But not in any way, shape, or form has she ever, in her immigration plan, said that she needs to stop the flow of illegal migrants into this country. Whenever they ask her the question, she skirts around it. Let me say that again. I want to go after the drug cartels and the human traffickers. And I want to get detection technology in order to stop the fentanyl at the border. I'm not really trying to stop the border crossings or even the flying over here into the cities that are now upending what you got going on in your daily lives because you didn't even see it happen until it was already at your doorstep. You wake up in the morning, 20,000 right there at your doorstep. Again, I don't blame the migrants. They just doing what they allowing them to do. They playing right into their hands. Here's a small town called Fairhope. They got word said that, you know what, it's over 1,000 migrants that's already on their way over there. And so guess what the people did? They came out in droves to have a discussion.
We've got breaking news tonight. Reports of up to 1,000 Haitian immigrants coming to Baldwin County in the next few weeks, specifically Fairhope. And that prompted quite the turnout at tonight's city council meeting. Our Lee Pack is in Fairhope. Lee, you were at that meeting and you say it got hot.
Yeah, hey, Lenise, it did get heated at times. I can tell you, like you just said, the turnout was overwhelming tonight. But right off the bat, Mayor Sherry Sullivan and other council members tried to shut this down, calling it a rumor, saying there's no truth to it. Take a listen.
To be clear, we have not seen or received any notification that that is happening, nor is it expected to happen in Fairhope.
So just imagine my surprise when I start getting text messages and emails that we were inviting immigrants to live in our city. And folks, let me just tell you, that's just patently false. It's just false. We've never even had a conversation up here. Never, not even in a work session.
We wake up.
I'm going to be a sanctuary city. We don't have any desire to be that. And the last number I heard was up to 30,000 refugees. So, you know, it went from
I'll take the over under
5,000 to 15 or 30. So
look at all of those.
I'll take the over and under at 10 minutes.
Because you know one thing about our good white people, our snow hares and our snow bunnies, and don't get me wrong,
I'll take the under. He usually doesn't sleep that long.
I'm absolutely 100% in support of my snow hares and my snow bunnies as long as you're doing things legally and you're a good person. If you're a good person, I rock with you no matter what the color of your skin is, as long as you're doing it legally. But look at the overflow in there. These people are vigilant. And they woke up and they said, we see what's happening over there in Aurora. We see what's happening over in Springfield. We see what's happening in that small Pennsylvania town. We got to know what's happening because we are not about to subject ourselves or our children to a wave That's happening all across America, and it's coming.
And I can tell you, I've covered a lot of hot button issues here on the Eastern Shore. Not only was the council chambers standing room only, but the overflow filled up the lobby over here. And I can tell you, it's an extensive lobby. A lot of people coming in to express their opinions. Some of them taking offense to what some of the council members said, trying to dismiss some of the reports on social media saying it got out of control and that people need to use common sense when looking at social media.
When you see a bunch of men,
I ain't about to
got this missing right here,
screaming
got
at
all
the
of this
top of
right
my
there.
lungs, trying to wake this dude up.
It's getting serious. It's getting ugly. It's getting real sharp out of ranks. When you see a bunch of men that's missing this right here, but they got all of this right here, it's about to get real sharp ranks.
Getting a little louder, though.
They didn't like what they heard there. But some of this does stem from a signature, a letter that was signed by Council President Corey Martin in 2022 at the height of the Ukrainian war, saying he supported helping women and children refugees. He said he wasn't speaking for the council and that none of this has anything to do with the other. He doesn't know how it got to this point. But
like
a lot of people speaking their mind tonight, some of them even comparing this to what's happening in Springfield, Ohio with the Haitian immigration population there. But a lot of people who spoke really just saying that they don't believe Baldwin County nor Fairhope.
Look at the men right there. All of that thinning.
I ain't gonna lie, Caitlin has
blue shirt, yellow shirt, all shirts.
He thinks he's like a straight up dude. It's kind of
call that the George Burns. It's called the donut. If you want to look like a good lawyer, shave this. I don't even care if you don't listen. I don't care how old you are. You could be 27 years old and you got a full head of hair. If you want to be a good lawyer and you want to make some money, you shave this. You keep this. Get it faded down. Fade it down on the sides, your mustache, keep the beard low, shave this off. That's a lawyer for your ass right there. He gonna get you out of jail. He getting you out of jail. 100%.
Or just be juice crew.
I don't want no lawyer unless he missing the top of his hair. Does that mean you ain't been through nothing? You wasn't in the dirt. You wasn't in the mud with the client trying to figure out the loopholes or how to get him out of jail. I want my lawyer no hair at the top, donut on the sides. Otherwise, get him out of here. Book him, Dano. Get him out of here.
Hope could accommodate just a mass relocation of immigrants.
And I want to say that I support legal immigration, and I think most people in Fairhope probably do. You know, we do, but not illegal immigration.
I wanted to come to address the fact that our schools really cannot take on any more students, especially students that don't speak English.
People are concerned.
Our teachers, our schools are maxed out. Our teachers are at capacity. I was at my son's baseball game when I listened to what you were saying. And I want to remind everyone why we're here. We're here because of the letter that you signed. We're not here because we're compassionate or we don't have feelings.
So they did sign a letter and they're trying to act. We didn't have any conversation. We just signed the letter.
And you know what? All I could think of was gaslighting every single one of us.
Looks like y'all stepped in it, didn't you? Tell us what you're going to do if this does come to pass. Okay, y'all are sitting up here all smug and everything. Tell us what we need to know.
When I heard what our mayor said, and then I heard what
Look, listen. Shout out to the chat. Laura Havoc says, I just subscribed to say you look like Rick Ross on Temu. You look like a piece of hair on my balls. You know what I'm saying? You look like the piece of hair off my ball sack. This wasn't the Millionaire Morning Show. I would go all the way in, but I understand that there's some people that's at work right now. They got me on the TV screen.
If instead of millions of Mexicans, there was millions of white people coming over, I wouldn't care as much.
I don't talk to people that got video game characters in their profiles.
I felt like, okay, you're all saying, don't worry about it. It's not going to happen. We're not going to approve this. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter whether you approve it. It's going to happen.
Now, my question to you specifically is, Fairhope Police Department ready to handle this? What's the answer on that?
I want to put you all on notice. You don't start doing your job
I'm sorry, Gam.
Haitian immigrants, both those here.
I'm sorry,
documented
Gam.
and undocumented, commit crimes at lower rates than native-born Americans do. According to the Cato Institute, I hate having to cite them.
Yeah, well, we listen to our constituents. We hear them. We don't want any fear factors. We want to let our constituents know that there are no illegal anybody coming in. The program that I signed was about 3 years ago. It was a federal program. There was never ethnicity involved. It was about displaced refugees, and that's our, when you're given much, you're expected to do much. So the protection of women and children is something that I stand on, and I don't see a problem with that as long as it's in a legal fashion.
You had to come to the TV.
Again, that was Council President Corey Martin responding to what was said tonight just after the meeting. It's also important to note that his wife got up there during the public participation part and defended him, saying a lot of this was taken out of context and really challenging the people in the audience who were speaking out, saying if they think they can do a better job, well, then sign up. We also spoke to Congressman Jerry Carl earlier today. He's in Washington. He weighed in on this, said for the better part of this weekend, he's been working with county officials and city officials here in Fairhope to track down the source of this.
Gam, I said, what up,
There's no truth. It's unfounded, but he will continue to try to get to the bottom of this and perhaps.
So, cities all across the United States of America is concerned. They are concerned, and they want to know whether or not migrants are going to be coming to their town, because now we are fighting for America.
If the WNBA wants the attention of being a big league, it needs to conduct itself like a big league. And that has not happened as of late. The complete league is in disarray, crashing out, shambles, whatever you want to say, where race has become the centerpiece of the discussion when there are basketball games to be played. The Liberty are about to play the Aces. Nafisa Collier just had a great playoff run so far for the Lynx. Obviously, the awards were just handed out. And instead, we're talking about a statement put out by the WNBA Players Association and a reporter for the USA Today. If you haven't followed it exactly, here's what happened. Basically, the WNBA PA put out this statement rejecting Christine Brennan, the longtime reporter. In part, it said to unprofessional members of the media like Christine Brennan.
Welcome back. You missed a hell of a show.
I'm about that shit.
Man, yo.
Did you make
I told you I was tired, man. I told you I was tired when I first came on here, man. I was like, I'm tired, man. I told y'all, man.
I want to be.
Well, since
high
you fell
school
asleep,
reunion in Oakland.
racism has ended. Your show's over, man. There's no more racism.
Racism has ended? Oh, wow, man.
Just while you slept.
Who ended it? Who ended it, man?
It was a tie.
Oh, okay.
Everybody hung it up.
Yeah,
all,
man.
All the problems are solved.
Man. Yeah, man. Racism has no place in this country, man. Finally, they finally got rid of it, man. Wow. Yeah, man. I was up in Rochester this weekend, man. Rochester, niggas, another little town that's very, very. Let's do this. Let's see this. Here we go.
Author Ta-Nehisi Coates has gained worldwide acclaim for his cultural commentary on race, class, and division. His essays and books, from The Case for Reparations to Between the World and Me, have earned the National Book Award and the prestigious MacArthur Genius Grant. His latest release, The Message, revisits those themes while taking readers on his global journey, one that he
smash.
Yeah, that's some stripes.
He was never able to make until now. We met up with him on another journey, a stroll down memory lane at his alma mater and mine.
I can never see a single book that I wrote the way a reader can, ever.
For Ta-Nehisi Coates, returning to Howard University,
I assume the nostalgia hits you.
Every time.
Brings with it a flood of memories.
It's intense because, see, I was here as a child.
His father worked at the historic Founders Library. He went to college here.
And then, to come back, as a professor, and then to watch the kids, because when you watch the students, what happens is like you have you see yourself in them.
White liberals they treat this guy like he's the smartest person that ever walked the face of the earth. Like
him and Kendi.
Yeah. He has white liberals like eating out of his hands, man. He could be like, "Hey, you right there, bring your wife up here. Take her clothes off. I wanna have sex with your wife in front of all this auditorium." And a white dude to let him do it. That's how much they revere him. Like he's revered, man, as like some kind of genius and shit, some kind of freedom fighter.
And it's why the renowned writer, whose work has appeared in The Atlantic, The New York Times, and Time magazine,
Camille, nice to meet you. Pleasure.
Can't resist reconnecting.
So to come back here and be here with y'all is a pleasure.
When back on campus.
Literally, your books helped me get through Yale this summer. Lie. I was reading The Beautiful Struggle, and also we were 8 years in power. I'm sure
his latest book, The Message, began as an assignment for the students he taught, framed through essays on his most recent travels, South Carolina, the Middle East, and Senegal.
Why those spaces?
Well, they each came out of different motivations. I had never been to Africa, so that was the first thing for Senegal. Africa never.
Nigga, you just went to Africa for the first time. That's crazy. You just thought this nigga been to Africa 1,000 times, man. That's crazy.
Motivations. I had never been to Africa, so that was the first thing for Senegal. Africa never struck me as a vacation, and it wasn't. It was a pilgrimage. It turned out to be a grieving more than anything, and I think I subconsciously felt that weight.
It was the weight of the transatlantic slave trade, the aftermath of colonialism, but ultimately the recognition of the nation Senegal is today.
This book is written to my students. It's for them to understand that. You can't get better just, sitting on your butt in a room.
His second essay recounts.
Yo, I'm confused. What the fuck is he like? What's all this for?
I don't know. You'd think he would have gone to Africa, looked around, and come back here and said, "Thank God I live here."
Yeah, thank God. But I'm just confused. I just don't understand. He doesn't seem that impressive, but I'm looking for what he's done. That's the book. Do I have to read the book? He just he seemed like any brother you would meet on the bus or something. I'd never, seen this much of him in action.
That weight.
It was the weight of the transatlantic slave trade, the aftermath of colonialism, but ultimately the recognition of the nation Senegal is today.
This book is written to my students. It's for them to understand that. You can't get better just, sitting on your butt in a room.
His second essay recounts his journey to support teachers in South Carolina, fighting against book bans in their classrooms.
My books in particular, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to go watch my book get banned? Because I'll just show up and I'll just watch.
Who does that?
I mean,
and then it didn't happen.
And then it didn't happen. It was kind of disappointing.
So you're disappointed that your book didn't get banned.
And then it didn't happen. It was kind of disappointing. A lot of us were having this happen to ourselves. We were sitting in New York or DC or wherever we were in our safe, blue states or whatever. And we were, writing these letters, and signing these open letters about, isn't it so sad that this is happening?
His third pilgrimage took him to the Middle East, months before the October 7th terrorist attacks in Israel last year, and the horrifying war that followed in Gaza.
I sat with 80-year-old women who had once made their homes, the woman I'm thinking of particularly in Jaffa, and had been pushed out. I walked through Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Museum, to understand the deep, deep pain that is, still alive in Israelis there. I read as much as I could to educate myself.
It was after those visits, he says, that he saw a startling connection to America's days of segregation.
When I say apartheid, as I say in that book, I am not being metaphorical. My parents and my grandparents were born into a world where they could not walk down certain streets, and where they had to.
Bunch of shit. How old is this guy?
He's my age. He's got to be 45 years old, 45 at least.
So what streets couldn't his parents walk down?
He's not going to be specific. He's going to be vague about that, but it's just streets. There were streets in this country. Like wherever that street is, his parents could have possibly been there at some point and not been able to walk down it. Look at him lying. He got the lion eyes. Them that's the little lion look, man. Like, what the fuck is this guy talking? Make sure you support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat, man. We've been gone for almost a few days, man. None of y'all want to hit the $5 challenge, man. Nobody want to take the $5 challenge, man. Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again.
To be out of certain places by the time the sun went down, and I went to.
He's just talking about those pesky sundown towns. Okay, yeah, they're everywhere.
On into a world where they could not walk down certain streets, and where they had to be out of certain places by the time the sun went down. And I went to the old city of Hebron, and I saw it.
In practice.
In practice, I had a guard tell me or ask me to confess my religion. And it was clear that my answer to that question was my key to walking down the street.
Like much of his writing, Coates' conclusions are controversial, calling for conversation.
I met with a woman there who was both a Holocaust survivor and an anti-occupation activist. And so the pain is not abstract. How do you say to people who have a very, very real history of oppression that you are now oppressing somebody else? We like our stories neat, black and white, and we ascribe nobility to people who are being oppressed. Sometimes we even ascribe it to ourselves as Black people in ways that are not necessarily deserved.
It was all offered to those creative writing students he taught back in 2022.
Getting to be in that class was one of the most formative experiences of my Howard career.
He gave me the confidence to be a writer.
We spoke to them about being his inspiration.
At the very beginning, just that immense weight, transmitting these stories, not only, from our community, but, those who had come before us.
We definitely discussed the importance of our identity as young Black people and what that looks like for us to carry ourselves in the world.
It's a precious thing y'all got here. It's a gem.
For Coates, it's about giving voice to truth and bearing witness.
I have a responsibility to be compassionate. I don't say things to just hurt people. I am not cruel in my writing. I try to be warm, but I have a responsibility to be clear.
Clarity that he now wears with confidence.
However I feel about the fight at the moment, however depressed I might feel, I walk on this canvas and it's like, this fight was going on before.
What is he talking? Everything's so vague, man. I don't know what what I'm saying? What's time? Like, why did they do this? Why did they do this special on this guy? Like, are you feeling that? Am I alone with that? Like, it just doesn't seem like there's anything.
Seems like it's a book plug, Just put him back in the public eye so we can sell more of his books. They haven't talked about it. What's in it? They've been talking about what his experience has been recently.
Yeah, but even those experiences, it's vague. It's like, I went here and.
Yeah, it turns out there's people in conflict all over the world. How about that?
Yeah. And it sucks to be Black. I mean, that's a central theme that, being Black is, just, fraught with terror and fear from other people outside groups.
But it's noble, to be oppressed.
Very, very strange. Yeah, very strange, man. Salute to the freshmen, man. The freshmen in the building from across the pond. I don't know, man. This guy's strange.
For me, and I look at the kids and it's like, it's gonna go on after me.
Thanks to a university that encouraged his path.
Will there ever be a day in your life you won't think about this place?
No. On my last one, I'll be thinking about this place.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
To say the least, this book is.
You can't tell me these people saw that same piece we just saw. They're like moved by something. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me this. I was just trying to give it a chance because I mean I'd heard about this guy a lot, man, and I'd never like seen him in action. I'd heard him, and I've heard white liberals, they just like he's a genius. He's so deep and da 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 and third. It's just odd, man.
Controversial, what he has said about the Middle East. I'm sure will spark a lot of debate. But again, as I mentioned,
what did he say? Oh, he said that people have been oppressed and now they could be oppressing others. Very controversial.
He wants conversation, and that's what he says his mission is, to get people talking and speaking to one another.
It was beautiful the way he said it's not black and white. Most things that are
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
The white co-hosts want to chime in and look right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Just shut up. Let's see, man. Oh shit. Yeah, this guy that's gonna be the mayor, man. Jermaine, what's his name? Is that how you spell it? Is it Jew? What's this guy's name?
I don't know.
The guy that's gonna be the mayor. Oh yeah, Jermaine Williams. This guy right here. If Mayor what's his name?
Adams.
If Mayor Williams, Adams steps down, man. This guy's gonna be the fucking mayor, man. This guy right here, man.
If he were to step aside or be removed from office, the city's public advocate, Jumaane Williams, would be next in line to take over.
Why is that? Like, why is it set up like that a public advocate gets to be the mayor if the mayor steps down before any politician? Why the fuck is that?
No idea.
That seems so fucking, and everybody just start right with it. People should be protesting. Like, what the fuck is this?
How about Kamala being presidential nominee?
Some community organizer becomes the mayor. He's first in line to be the mayor. The mayor, what?
If he were to step aside or be removed from office, the city's public advocate, Jumaane Williams, would be next in line to take over. Tonight, Jay Dow spoke with him one-on-one with an extended interview to see what he thinks comes next. Jay joining us here in studio to break it all down. I know he's spoken before, but this is the longest that he's spoken and well in depth.
That's right, Candace. And we spoke with him for about 32 minutes, covering a variety of issues from his own politics and, of course, the fate of Mayor Eric Adams.
Our Sunday afternoon sit-down discussion with New York City Public Advocate Jumaane Williams, originally scheduled to take place outdoors, moved at the last minute thanks to a steady rain to a bustling coffee shop in Manhattan. We didn't waste any time. Our goal to reacquaint our viewers with the elected official who is next in line to be mayor in the event Mayor Eric Adams should resign in the face of federal bribery and corruption charges or be removed from office by New York Governor Kathy Hochul.
So let's get right to it. You've called the charges against Mayor Adams egregious. You've questioned whether or not he can restore the public trust and whether or not he can do the job while he's fighting these charges. So let me ask you first off, do you think it's appropriate, given the few days that you've had to digest this, for the mayor to resign or to continue to serve the city while he fights these charges?
Well, I think first off, this is a painful time for the city because there's no way around that.
Do you think that he has the wherewithal and the ability to serve this city given how many balls are in the air on an ordinary day in running the city?
I'm also in line of succession. So I like to try to be, depending where I am, really responsible in how I'm having these conversations. But at some point, you have to worry about how long autopilot lasts without a main pilot. And so that's the big concern.
We covered several other issues during our wide-ranging, in-depth discussion, but ended on the topic that brought us here, Mayor Eric Adams.
Do you think that the crisis that he is in right now, the charges that he faces right now, are going to overshadow the accomplishments that have been made in this city over the last few years?
This is what really concerns me, because the fact of the matter is, if you are an elected leader and you're black, if you're an elected leader and you're a woman, anything that people view as not the norm, I believe you will be treated differently. You'll be looked at differently. That's not different from Mayor Adams.
So he right there, he says he thinks black people are treated differently, even when they're the mayor. That right there is troubling, man. Like, he's coming into this with that thought, black people being treated differently, even though the mayor's black and he's about to be the mayor.
And two things can be true at the same time. That can be true, and you may have done some things that I believe weren't the right ways to go. And this is even before the indictment in policy changes. And so both those things can be true at the same time. And
So you could have done some things that you shouldn't have done that caused you to, not be mayor, but you're still also being treated differently because you're black. Man, it sucks to be black, man. Fuck.
angers me a lot is that I think the next generation of leaders, particularly black and brown leaders, might have to pay for what's happening now.
Do you think race is playing a factor in the case against the
The next fucking Hispanic fucking city councilman in 2050 is gonna have to pay for what Eric Adams did, man. Black and brown leaders got to pay for this, man, in the future, man. What Eric Adams just did, man. That's crazy, man. Like, this is all this, it should be seen as crazy talk. Press 1. This should all be seen as like just insanity and madness. He should be like, he should be disqualified for saying these things. These things he's saying are insane. Black people are treated differently. Even if they do something wrong, they're still treated differently. In the future, black and brown people will have to pay because Eric Adams messed up and did some crooked stuff while he was the mayor. Are you serious? Are you serious?
I think Eric Adams is the first black crooked mayor.
Yeah, we haven't seen this before. That's true. We haven't seen this before out of black men. Black mayors are usually on the up and up. So yeah.
Generation of leaders, particularly black and brown leaders, might have to pay for what's happening now.
Do you think race is playing a factor in the case against him now, against Mayor Adams right now?
In the case itself, it's hard to say that because of Damien Williams and how he identifies.
Why? Because he's black?
Yes. But also,
wow. Think
prosecutor?
about that. Yeah, he was asked, does race play in part in the Eric Adams charges? He says hard to say because of how the prosecutor identifies as black. So everything's about race. So if the prosecutor's black, I guess the charges are legit. If the prosecutor was white, then yeah, it would be racist. Yo, this is insane. Am I the only one who fucking sees this, man?
They circle the wagons for their black mayors.
This is fucking insane, man. This is crazy talk. What the fuck are we listening to? This guy's gonna be the mayor. And he thinks that, Black people getting short end of the stick all the time, and even in the future, black people going to have to pay for what Adams did. People going to, in the future, black politicians going to have to pay. It's going to be looked at like, with a side eye because of what Adams did, because and black, black, like the prosecutors black, everybody up there is black. Did you see his whole cabinet? Adams, his whole cabinet was black. You're black.
The DOJ went after President Biden's son. And so they have done some things that counter what the mayor is saying. And I really hope that he thinks about the comments he's making and who they sound like and the effect it might have on a broader conversation.
In closing, let's talk about history. This is a historic time for the city. How do you think people are going to...
What's historic about this time?
It's collapsing from the weight of immigrants, maybe.
You view what's happening in the city right now through the lens of politics and race?
That's a very good question. And I hope as a mayor...
That was a very good question.
This is two sons sitting together, looking at a son mayor who's being investigated by a son prosecutor, and they're trying to find some way to claim it's a racist angle. That somehow it's harder for them. It's a head scratcher.
Whether or not he can put forth a plan to show that he can govern the city still with the weight of this, he can help rebuild trust that's been eroded, which is separate from the fight that he should have for his innocence. I'm hoping he's asking himself those questions as well, because they're very important questions.
That piece.
You Negroes are fucking annoying as shit. When I say annoying, I mean y'all are fucking annoying. It's no fucking, like, you can never just be normal. Just be normal. Let's see who this Negro is, man. Who's this Negro? What is he? Oh, everything's from 5 years ago. Everything's from 5 years ago. Protesting and shit. Salute to Richard Ramirez, man. Shout out to the black and brown community for this donation, man. Coach looks soft as F. He getting paid to promote dissent in America. Did that motherfucker know Senegal probably sold his answer? Do he know that in Senegal they got fucking slaves right now working on cocoa plants and shit? I mean, in cocoa fields and shit. Yeah, man, this nigga's. Then they went over to Senegal and shit and didn't even learn about that slavery is the mecca of slavery.
My name is Nalini and I'm with the Working Families Party. And we are proud to endorse and I am proud to introduce the next public advocate of the city of New York, the people's advocate, Jumaane D. Williams!
People like me are not supposed to run for office.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Because this is 1860.
Jesus Christ.
You got Nigtown in the back.
People like me are not supposed to run for office. Jesus. This is about to be the mayor of New York City. This is a clown show, man.
He's an underdog.
Yeah, wait, he a rapper too?
Jumaane? What he is?
What's his name?
Jumaane.
Jumaane.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was 2 U's, it's 2 A's.
Yeah.
People like me are not supposed to run for office. I am a first-generation American with Tourette syndrome and ADHD who wears earrings from Brooklyn.
He's got Tourette syndrome and ADHD.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. That's worse than being black, man.
Yep.
Shit.
He said people like me are not supposed to run for office. If this nigga said, if he mentions black, then you know this nigga has like a 70 IQ because he's literally the predecessor of a black man.
This is 5 years ago. This is when he
okay.
was
Wait,
winning his
how long has he been a what is he?
advocate.
Yeah.
Since this time. This is when he was running 5 years ago.
Brooklyn and loves hip hop. When I was asked to run for public advocate, I thought about a night not too long ago. A young man came up to me and he said he had Tourette syndrome just like me.
He said that he always wanted to enter politics. He thought he couldn't. And he sees me up there. And it gives him hope.
This nigga is a tether. He a first generation American, a fucking tether with Tourette syndrome and fucking ADHD. Well, all blacks got ADHD though.
So that I knew no matter how steep the hill was, that I had to keep going up. I had to keep going up the hill for equity. I had to keep going up the hill for justice. I had to keep going up the hill for all of us. I had to keep going up
the
the
Hispanic dude playing basketball, man. I take him, man. I know I can take him, man. I dunk on him.
all of us. I have to keep going up the hill for him. The biggest complaint I used to get as a council member is I was too much of an activist. And I said, that is the only way that things get done in this country. Now we've got some big hills in New York City to run up, but the people in NYC are strong. We are the patriots. We are the ones that make America great. We are the ones that make America live up to its true ideals. We all know that the only option is to keep going up until we reach the top. The people who say that it cannot be done, please move out of the way of the people who are doing it. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. I see the hill. I see the hill. I see the hill. I see the hill. And I know it's steep. And I know it's steep. But I will. But I will. Keep moving up. Keep moving up. Until I reach the top. Until I reach the top.
Yeah, you about to reach the top. He about to be the man.
Not one glider in that whole crowd, man.
This nigga manifested being a mayor. God damn.
Ain't that a bitch? Wow, Jumanji, man.
Yo, if your mayor name is Jumanji,
deep
that's
shit.
how you know you fucked up, dog.
Yeah, you might as well just prepare for a scandal. Like I think it was 6 months before he's embroiled in scandal.
It's gonna be some sort of embezzlement. If it ain't gonna be embezzlement, it's gonna be some
woman. He might even.
Oh yeah, he probably gonna be fucking one of his colleagues' baby moms or some shit. You know, he a son man. We gotta drop dick in everything that move, especially if it got a nice little butt. I'm telling y'all, anybody that work with him, listen to us. If your girl got a nice little butt, that nigga gonna be trying to knock that thing down. I'm a son man, bro. It's just in us, dog.
Yeah.
Kansas City twins are in custody tonight in Cass County, being held without bond. They're suspected in an armed carjacking Tuesday on I-49. Fox 4's Hannah King joins us in Belton with how the two women were ultimately nabbed.
Belton police tell me a woman was involved in a minor traffic accident here on Interstate 49, but it was at this exit where her vehicle and the suspect vehicle pulled over. And when the victim exited her car to inspect the damage, she was carjacked.
She didn't do anything wrong. She got off the highway. It was a relatively busy area. This still happened. When confronted, she gave the vehicle up. Very smart. No vehicle worth dying for.
Lieutenant Dan Davis with Belton PD says a crime like this is uncommon for the area.
Luckily, at least 2 people are going to be held accountable for that.
The victim told police she was driving her blue Dodge Charger and was rear-ended by a black Kia on southbound I-49 near exit 175. When she pulled off the road, she made contact with the driver, who has
Kia girls.
She had the Charger. Yeah, that's a hood certified joint.
since been identified as Rodney Gorham. Her twin sister, Rodnisha, also got out of the car.
Ron Day and Rodnisha.
Yo, these bitches look like they've been through hell and back, man.
Yeah.
The one on the left,
With
the one on the left looked like she more bothered a little bit though.
Which one is Vanilli?
Unknown male. Police say Rodnisha then got into the victim's car. The unknown male then pulled out a gun and pointed it at the victim. Court documents show Rodnisha and the male then drove away in the Charger while her sister drove the Kia. The Kia we now know to be stolen from another jurisdiction. The
Damn.
victim was unharmed. She even snapped this photo.
The vehicle was equipped with a system that allowed us to be able to track.
Dog, if you driving these type of cars around some people, nigga, you better be super strapped, dog. Bro, niggas are on the prowl for these cars, dog.
Yeah, they're hunting. Black women are more likely to kill somebody than white men.
Someone should tell her left tail light.
The general location of the vehicle. Kansas City was able to locate it, gave chase, lost it for some time, but then picked it back up with their aviation unit. And the helicopter was able to follow to an area when the suspects bailed out.
That area was here near 36th Street and Brooklyn Avenue where the twins were arrested.
Charges were filed with the Cass County Prosecutor's Office today.
Lieutenant Davis says to always look out for yourself.
If you feel like you're being followed or somebody may be targeting you in this instance, go to a very populated area. Let them follow you to the police department.
And Belton police tell me this investigation is ongoing and more charges may be forthcoming. But if you know anything that could help them, you're asked to call the TIPS hotline. That number is 474-TIPS. In Belton, Hannah King, Fox 4, working for you.
We started covering this story back in February when Detroit Detroit Police took over the case from Detroit Public Schools Public Safety. This was not known. Nothing was known to the media until February 14th, Valentine's Day, when a massive search was underway. And then for months and months trying to find her, and then nothing.
The evidence shows overwhelmingly in this case that she is in fact deceased.
This is believed to be the last picture taken of 13-year-old Neziah Harris before she disappeared in Detroit on January 9th. Thursday, investigators announced homicide charges as well as criminal sexual conduct charges against 41-year-old Jarvis Butts.
What the Melungeon Mayhem?
Yeah, man. With a name like Butts, man, he had a rough life, man. Jarvis Butts.
That name's not gonna serve him well in prison.
He got he got them ponytails too. That nigga better be ready to get his ass up in the joint.
He got ponytails. His last name is Butts. He in there for messing with a minor. This dude, man, he might as well just go in there and bend over, man. Shit.
Someone with a criminal record and someone known to Harris's family.
We suspected him from the beginning, considering his background and things like that we've heard about him.
Butts is being charged with homicide despite the fact that the teenager's body was never found. During Thursday's press conference, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy revealing shocking evidence.
You look at that face and you do not see the horrors that she had gone through in her short life. The exploitation, the molestations, the sexual abuse, and the pregnancy that she was concealing. There's no evidence of anyone else being the father of that child other than the defendant himself, who we charged today. And he knew she was pregnant. We know that he was also searching for ways to abort the baby.
This is a story that has attracted a lot of attention. Detroit podcaster Mark DeAndre.
Even in March, when I was doing the podcast, I felt like I had this thing.
God damn. Beetlejuice looking ass nigga.
Pretty much solved as far as, what came out today. I said this months ago as far as what the end result was.
Investigators say they have no plans to charge anyone else in this case.
I'm upset about that, and I would like to see charges being brought against those that knew
that were affiliated with him and knowing. And that allowed him to be around the children, knowing he wasn't supposed to be.
In a sad turn of events, Neziah Harris's father, Mervyn Jennings, passed away this summer.
Literally died of a broken heart. Unfortunately, he had congestive heart failure. He's already sick and got sicker going out looking for her.
Damn.
Wow.
Yo, damn, she was 13. Damn.
Sucks, man.
13 and pregnant, and they think he was the father? That's what it sounded like?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy, man.
Melungeon,
So sad.
That's got to
Yeah,
be
so sad.
hard on a son, man. He goes to all the trouble to hide a body, and they're able to convict him without it.
Oh, wait, they didn't find it.
Yeah.
That's a bitch.
Damn.
Ain't that a bitch?
I know,
Yeah.
man.
Mark in the bet.
And a convicted felon accused of the attempted murders of his wife and her 2 kids is now charged with assaulting judicial marshals. Today, that Bridgeport man was back in court on those new charges where he allegedly attacked staff again. News 12 Connecticut's Marissa Alter reports tonight from Bridgeport Superior Court.
Abdul Rahim Suleiman continued to cause problems while he was arraigned for the second day in a row. As a team of marshals led Suleiman into the courtroom, he spit on the wall in the hallway, causing marshals to cover his face for the hearing. But that was just the start of the issues.
You, sir, have a right to remain silent.
Abdul Rahim Suleiman ignored that right as he went before a judge Friday. Suleiman wore a spit hood. He's accused of spitting on one marshal and slapping another in the face.
The lawyer's here, whatever you say.
Where's my lawyer? Where's my lawyer?
State police say the assault happened at the courthouse the day before, while Suleiman was waiting to be arraigned in a violent attack on his wife and her 2 young sons. He's accused of using a baseball bat to beat them in their...
Why y'all go back, man? Why they do that? Woo.
Riders on the storm.
More Melungeon mayhem.
I think that might be an Arab, man. I don't know,
I think he's in that world, man. Suleiman.
Jeez.
He does not look happy.
Nah, he's definitely not happy, man. He needs a massage, or he needs a joint, a massage, and like a spa day or something, man.
It had to do with long hair.
Maybe he can spend a little time with the kids.
We failed him, man. You know,
he ready to get mounted in a joint.
That's what happened, man.
At least he has his family. Oh wait,
that's a sunny area too. Bridgewater. I mean, and South Jersey.
To beat them in their apartment.
These fucking headphones don't work, man. These fucking some of these headphones I got this like, yo.
Bridgeport, New Jersey?
Yeah, it's in South Jersey. You know that area is it's real sunny.
Oh, it's in Gloucester. Okay. Gloucester.
Told you. Yeah, you know, I've been all over Jersey, so you know.
Yeah, man, you the Jersey for the president, man.
Apartment Wednesday morning. The 6-year-olds and 4-year-old boys were airlifted to the hospital. But in court on Thursday, the prosecution said the older boy wasn't expected to survive.
The strength of the state's case is extremely strong, the facts of which are gruesome to say the least.
One day later, Suleiman was back before a judge.
My lawyer who? Look, man,
But he had to be removed from the courtroom because of disruptive behavior. The judge continued without Suleiman and added an additional $1 million to his already $10 million bond. But shortly after, state police arrived at the courthouse to investigate another reported attack on marshals. That led a judge to call the case again without Suleiman. She said he spit blood in a marshal's eye, and she ordered he be tested for HIV.
Oh, man. That nigga split blood in a marshal's eye.
That nigga spit some goddamn. He spit a goddamn virus in that nigga eye.
Even if he don't got nothing, just the trepidation, the wait, the motherfucker gotta wait for get the results and shit. The motherfucker gotta like he just caused that fucking deputy fucking hell, man. Spit blood in his eye. Yo, who's that? Who the fuck is that?
Somebody got some static.
Yeah, man.
I think that's you.
I got static like that. That's me with the static.
It's gone away now. It's away now, so I don't hear it no more.
Let me turn you down, man. Y'all. Make sure you take the $5 challenge via PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat, man. Support the damn channel, man. Support the goddamn channel. It's so hard to get support the last 2-3 weeks, man. It's hard to get you guys to take the $5 challenge. I don't know what happened, man. Let's see.
Now to a tragic story out of Warren, where 2 men are dead. 2 police officers also rushed to the hospital in critical condition.
It all started with an horrific crash this morning. It was a chaotic moment as the family and friends of victims rushed to the area of Shaner and Prospect for answers.
Sadly, right now, there are so many more questions than answers. 7 News Detroit reporter Faraz Javed elevating the voices of loved ones waiting for the results of an investigation.
2 people are dead. 2 officers are in critical condition after an accident this morning around 5 on Prospect and Shaner. As a matter of fact, right behind me, you can see cleanup efforts underway. Now, as the investigation continues, one of the biggest questions that the family members of the 2 victims are asking is what led to this moment. This was the aftermath that unfolded after the crash, with family members.
Wow. What the fuck? It's turned up, man.
Aftermath that unfolded after the crash, with family members and friends of the 2 deceased victims finding it hard to contain their emotions.
I'm still trying to get it together real. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to get it together, stay strong for my sisters, my cousins, my aunties.
Maurice Perkins is the cousin of 35-year-old Cedric Antoine Hayden, who was killed this morning after the white Dodge Durango flipped over.
God damn.
Somebody wasn't obeying the traffic laws. Somebody was going a little fast.
Jeez, look at that. Twisted metal, man.
Maurice says Cedric was riding along with his friend, Dewan Pattis. Maurice says both men had wrapped their overnight shift at Chrysler.
It was on their way home. He was on his way home to his daughters. He got 2 daughters.
Everyone everyone is still puzzled about how this all happened.
And what's bothering me is that I'm looking at the car, and I'm just looking at how the cars look.
Dewan was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. Cedric was pronounced dead at the scene. As the investigation continues, Warren police say the accident wasn't a result of a high-speed pursuit.
This was a car accident. The officers were clearly driving. As far as what they were doing, where they were going, what they were doing, I don't want to comment on that. I don't want to speculate. It's still too early on. And obviously, with them being in surgery, I haven't had a chance to talk to them yet.
She looked torn up about this, man. She looked torn up about what's going on.
Obviously, with them being in surgery, I haven't had a chance to talk to them yet.
Lieutenant John Gajewski says one of the officers was trapped in the patrol vehicle and had to be extricated. Both injured male officers have been with the department for 5 years, and both of them have a wife and kids.
We want to know lots of things, and one of the things we've done to ensure impartiality for transparency is calling them.
That white boy, man.
Yeah,
this white boy.
You know, he case slaying. He's case saying.
Man, yeah, he invested. He invested.
Yeah, he got a. Yeah, he got some lunging babies out there.
Yeah, definitely, man. White boy.
You
They
got the
have a
chain
wife
on
and
shit.
kids.
We want to know lots of things, and one of the things we've done to ensure impartiality for transparency is calling the Macomb County Sheriff's Department to do an independent investigation. We owe that to everybody here to make sure the right information is obtained.
Meanwhile, Yvonne Washington can't believe her grandson Cedric is gone.
He was a real sweetheart. Just quiet. Never
Harriet
did anything
Tubman.
to anyone.
What are you gonna miss about him? Man, laughing, man. He's a jokester like me. Man, it's just a lot.
Wow.
He stopped like he when I
This
seen him
is
stop.
this is embarrassing, man.
Yo,
Uncanny, man, it's uncanny.
niggas, man.
Right.
Y'all ain't even noticed that till y'all started coming to this channel. That niggas do that shit. Y'all, I know you didn't, man.
I kind of noticed it, but I didn't pay attention. And then once I started paying attention, then I started understanding.
I ain't noticed that shit.
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 of them gonna say that.
He was just so funny, made me laugh. Used to get high.
See,
That
if you're
was
going to
my
have the
power.
talk with the kids, if you're going to have the talk, that's what you need to tell them is don't be funny. Don't light up a room. Don't make everybody happy. You're going to get your ass shot doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty sad that my 14-year-old son's starting to notice it. And when we started listening to the show, he like, that's just crazy, Dad. I'm like, yeah, I know.
These are the traits they appreciate in other people.
Yo, Mark, you got a biracial child?
Nah, she a son woman. She a red bone though.
Okay. Makes sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you had to kind of wash them Haitian jeans, man. You got them Haitian jeans. You got stone wash them jeans.
I got good Haitian jeans, man. Nah, man. I'm listening.
You diluted it a little bit, man. You know, they a little more closer to whiteness, man. You did a good thing, bro.
Nah, but my family, like I said, my family we wasn't into that, man. My mom was super Christian and all that. She was different, man. She didn't get down with that bullshit.
Yeah, man.
I mean, she has her ways, of course, like, certain Asian shit that we do, but nothing crazy, nothing that, like I said, I told y'all about it, you
Yeah,
have
we
the
ain't
norm
talking
that
about
do
your
weird
race.
shit.
We're not talking about your race. We're talking about your DNA, man. That
Yeah, I had to stonewash it a little. Yeah, I had to get a red bone.
that pesky DNA, man.
Hey, bro, that was the smart thing, dog. Get you a little red bone. She got a little whiteness in her. Now you stonewashed it out a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Next generation, they probably gonna get him a light bright. If you said it's your son, right?
My son, yeah, my only son.
Yeah, definitely gonna get him a light bright. And
Yeah,
then
softer features. Yeah, he has some softer features, man. Y'all Haitians got them strong ass features, them archaic goddamn.
Yeah, it's sad that you say that because whenever I walk past one, I'm like, oh, I know he Haitian. Like, I just know because the features.
I got them
I'm like,
untainted. I got them untainted.
Exactly.
and everything. Yeah.
Haitians got more African DNA than Africans.
Yeah, you sold us because we're part Nigerian because of the Igbo and shit. Y'all sold us.
Oh, that's where y'all came from? Y'all came from the Igbos?
We came from Igbos, and then part of it, the Nigerians sold us, and then obviously, the rest is history.
Oh, I didn't know the Igbos made up the Haitians. I gotta look into that. That's deep.
Yeah,
Look into that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because that's why we had those features like that. We Igbo, and then obviously France came in like, yo, we need some. Oh, take these dudes. These dudes just do nothing but magic and shit.
Yo,
So the rest is history.
Sons was getting busy in the slave trade, dog. They was selling everything must go, dog. You could buy 3 cousins. You could fucking buy my daughter and shit. God damn.
Yeah, they were going in, man. They just got rid of us and said, yeah, take these. They don't do shit. And the rest was history.
Yeah, man. Oh man.
You're all welcome.
They still getting busy today too.
Shit, I'm definitely
Doing certain
welcome.
stuff to change his life, man. That really made me change some stuff that I was doing.
There's no winners here today. It's a hard day for everybody.
Now, as the investigation continues, we'll be following.
Changed his life. That really made me just change the stuff that I was doing. He snitched on him. Why you snitch, man? We thought this was a good guy, man.
Didn't think anyone.
What are you gonna miss about him?
Man, just laughing, man. He's a jokester like me. Man, it's just a lot. He stopped when I seen him stop doing certain stuff to change his life, man. That really made me change some stuff that I was doing.
They are both was thugs.
Yeah, he snitched on him, man. Brandy said he was a good guy, quiet. And you know when it came and fucked it up, man.
This is just casual. I don't think people understand how regular this shit is, dog. Like, just like, you know, we both was just thugs and shit, doing our thing, laughing and having a good time, and like, cool comment, dog.
Facts, man. Very, very common, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, we back, man. We gonna try to we gonna get the show done, show cracking tomorrow, man. Any final thoughts from anybody, man? Any final thoughts?
And I just want to say, glad you back. The show was cracking. You know, you passed out midstream.
I want to offer up a prayer of hope for New York's future mayor.
Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Hope he takes power. He has a good clean run. Doesn't have the white prosecutors chasing him down for some bullshit.
I guarantee you that nigga a felon.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. He got something on his record.
Oh yeah. When you look back at the stream, though, you gonna say I was trying to wake you up, man. I wasn't trying to
man,
leave.
you ain't doing a good enough job, man.
I ain't wanna like yell at the top of my lungs. I don't know.
Yeah, man, you gotta understand, man. Like, man, I got multiple. I have so much stuff going on, man. I just got back from Rochester, man. Got little kid that's in school. I got a baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I got another whole channel.
Thank God you don't have Tourette's. Thank God you don't have Tourette's, man.
Yeah.
That's an ADHD.
Yeah, man. But I'm black, so there's that. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. And I gotta watch out for white dudes carving the N-word in people's arms, man. So it's like, I got a lot on my plate, man. Yeah, when I come on here at night, man, it be I be on my last leg sometimes, man. Before though, I didn't used to fall asleep like that, but since my daughter's in school, I gotta get up early in the morning. I've been falling asleep a lot lately, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, it's all good though, man.
Yeah. But man, make sure y'all support the channel, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button on all the videos, man. Just come in and hit the like button. Don't have to be prompted, man. Just come in and hit the like button, man. Also support the channel. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Peace out.